And welcome back to the Let's Trash Anthem Show! And here's your host, Sam, Cactar, Cuck, with special guest, Andrew Wilson! And the show will begin as soon as the studio loads.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining us today at the Let's Trash Anthem Show. I'm your guest Sam, Ralph and Cactar. Now our special guest, Andrew Wilson, will be here later once he sheds his skin. Until he gets here everyone, let's talk about Anthem.
Ooh, this was the big day. This is the Cataclysm. I saw in the Twitch chat actually, they were talking about the Cataclysm event in Anthem, and someone's like, "Your game is a Cataclysm." That's a good comment.
All I saw the whole time was loot. There was not one moment you couldn't see the whole actual chat. There was not 3 or 4 loot things. Just people saying loot.
Been a while.
Has been a while. It's good to be back.
It is. So
Many things have happened since the last stream.
Yep, indeed. So we've got quite a number of
This was a very important day for BioWare and for Anthem because the game is currently pretty foobar. It's
pretty shit, guys. Let's face it.
Dead. And then the sort of like saving grace, the thing that everyone was really looking forward to with these Cataclysm events. Mm-hmm. These were originally meant to be released like last month as part of the roadmap.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen. So after that, BioWare basically said, look, we're not going to talk about stuff until it's done. And that's actually pretty cool, can I say? Like, that's a good approach. I like that.
Sure, but I was expecting 8-12 months, you know, I was like, when is this coming? And they really did leave it to the last minute. They did make a statement earlier, like, hey, we're going to talk about it sometime this month.
In May, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, this is the last day. Is this the last day of May?
Is it the 31st? Yes.
Okay, so 31st in Australia, we're ahead of time, everybody. So for you guys, it's the 30th.
That's right. So they had their live stream today. It was... We haven't even dropped yet. Fuck! Let's drop!
Here we go.
Okay, so
Anthem is cactus.
I don't know if that joke applies outside of Australia. Probably.
Oh, everyone says cactus, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Anyway, let's focus.
All right, guys, that's an Aussie thing.
They did their live stream today. Look, it's a pretty mixed bag. High level though, the Anthem community is not loving it, and it doesn't look like there's much in that that's going to bring people back, right? I don't think anyone's going to be logging into Anthem thinking, finally, they've fixed the game.
Yeah.
That's not the
Let's
case.
just say that their stream that they did had, I think, a total watch count of 4,700. We were getting more an hour, little tiny, show, for God's
nice
sakes.
humble brag, Sam.
I was just going to say.
Really classy, man.
I was just going to say, so tune in tomorrow, everyone. That's how I was getting there. Tune in tomorrow. We're doing a live stream once again, everybody.
Okay, what did they cover in the live stream? First of all, the most important thing that wasn't discussed was how they're going to fix the core loot game in Anthem. And that was the number one question everyone had. I was expecting in this stream they would say, guys, we've heard what you said about loot and how much it sucks.
Oh, they did say that, though.
Here are the changes that we're making. No, they didn't say that. They're like, people are talking about
Yeah,
loot.
they were like, okay, we can see the comment section. All they want to talk about is loot.
Loot. Yeah. So
I'm loot.
So that's pretty good. So there's no major changes coming to Anthem's loot game to really revitalize it. There's no sort of like Anthem 2.0, Reaper of Souls style revision of this game when it comes to their loot game. It's the same. The one thing they are changing though is the luck stat. Now the luck stat increases your chance to find items, and this stat is being removed from the game, and then everyone just has the default max luck stat. So obviously that's going to mean there are going to be some drop rate improvements.
Sure.
But luck already has been proven to not really increase your drop chance that much by community testing. So this is not like a huge revitalization of the loot game. This is like a minor tweak more than anything.
I still think that for them to do that is them trying to head in it sounds like the most, efficient, streamlined way to try and do a small change to the loot game.
Yeah, sure.
Of course, it's going to take a gigantic task on their hands to actually get a lot of people, a lot of developers in their team to fix the actual problem with Anthem. But hey, if they're doing that for now, I kind of go, great.
Then we delve into these cataclysms. Now, these cataclysms, when you saw the original trailer, were these awesome like storms, and you're out in the free play world. You're like, whoa, what's that over there? It's a monkey. Whoa, what's that over there? It's a walking robot. None of that's in the game.
Nothing at
Whoa,
all.
what's that over there? It's a shaper storm. I'm gonna fly into that and do a cataclysm. Turns out that's not what this is at all. It's basically just this activity you queue up for. You get magically teleported to like, Bachelor in Paradise Island.
Yeah.
What's that one they have in America called?
The Burning Man thing, right? Is that what you're saying?
Fire Festival.
Fire Fest, there we go.
You get teleported to the Fire Festival Island, okay? And it's a shaper storm going on, which means that they've just tinted the game blue.
Yeah, it just looks like an Instagram filter, everybody. I love what they've done. They put some wind and shit, and they put a blue filter,
So if we were to
and it
have-
looks better. Just like when I use Insta Filter, I look better. I know what you're doing, Anthem. It's working.
That's right.
So dumb. That's special effects, everyone, of Laymen
We
Gaming.
blew our whole budget on that.
I'm sorry, Cactar.
We did 20 ticks, and that was the best one.
So, now, what are these events? They are basically timed runs where you go into these spaces. There are different nodes throughout the map. There are 3 maps, by the way. There are different nodes throughout these maps. You need to clear them out as quickly as possible. If you do so, you rack up a multiplier. You also then need to kill the final boss in the Cataclysm, and if you do that, it doubles your score. So the overall challenge is to clear as much of the map as possible before the time runs out, while also having time to kill the boss. It's interesting in its structure, but obviously not very original, because we've seen lots of stuff like this before.
And if you've seen the stream, I bet you they had some sort of...
Oh, they had God mode on for sure.
He would not die, okay?
sure.
This guy was not... He was just getting completely destroyed by all these enemies, and he just wouldn't die.
Play of the game.
But the screen was grey the whole time.
Yeah, and I kind of get it. If I was running a stream, dying 7 times or some shit, it becomes a meme. So I totally get it. If you watch my streams back in the day, it was a total meme.
If you've ever watched Deej play Destiny, you understand where they're coming from.
So I totally
No
get
offense
that.
to Deej. Love you.
Oh my god, that's shade.
It's
Shade, everybody.
massive shade.
Shade
Don't worry.
alert.
It's known shade. As part of this, they introduced what's called inversions, which is another name for modifiers. So it's kind of like, hey, your weapons, this SMG will do more damage this week, or shotguns will do more damage that week, or your abilities do 50% less damage, or whatever. So they'll change those every week. Oh, and by the way, leaderboards. That's the other thing. There's leaderboards involved. You can't have a game in 2019 without leaderboards.
Yeah, all four
Very
people,
important feature.
all 4 people that are playing this game now compete for the top spot. But let's face it, who gives a fuck about leaderboards? Like,
No one
I've
gives a
never played a game where like, oh, I want to be the best, best person on the top of the leaderboard. I honestly think neckbeards only care about that thing.
Yeah, even they don't care.
Like, really? I don't think
they're
they
top of the
care.
leaderboard, and they're like, I hate myself.
Actually, I remember Ralph, when you were playing World of Warcraft, you were like the best shaman on Blackrock or whatever, and Ralph would be like, I'm the best shaman on Blackrock. So some people, some losers, do care about that.
That's true. But the biggest thing about the Cataclysm is that they are a temporary or timed event, right? Which means that they're only available for 8 weeks. 2 of that are pre-weeks, where they do like warm-up challenges and they set the scene in terms of the lore, and then the actual Cataclysm runs for 6 weeks, and then it's gone again. And it's like, what the fuck? Why was this decision made?
I just don't understand how a game that is so
Lacking in content.
So dry and boring, they would actually
and shit and awful and the
horrendous
worst.
fucking shit would actually create a whole new space to only be visited for 8 weeks, when they know that like one of the biggest things people are talking about right now is like, the lack of things to do. Like, why not just keep that there and continue to build on that space? You've already got this new world with an Instagram filter, whatever, right? But it's still a new area, and you can give people at least the illusion that there's going to be some more things to kind of explore, even though it looks like just reuse assets, whatever, right? A World of Warcraft, for instance, has never done that. Like, World of Warcraft has created things and they've left it there. They haven't just like created things and then it's not there.
Well,
in 2
I
or
think
3
that
weeks.
the template for this are, obviously seasonal events in other games, like the Feast of Wintervale or the, Festival of the Cost in Destiny. But
Sure.
they're seasonal events. the other, it's more analogous, I would say, to something like Sparrow League Racing in Destiny or the global events in the Division, right? Which were temporary timed events which give you a chance to do a certain activity and then they take it away.
That's a game mode, though. I think a game mode within
Sparrow
a
League
world.
Racing was a game mode,
Sure,
yes.
and that's within a world that's already there that you can go back and explore. And I think that it's a whole other thing entirely to create a world and then just... It just feels so wasteful.
It does. Look, I think that if your game is really rich in content, you could add something like this and take it away, because then people can play other stuff. But there's nothing else to do in Anthem. You can't add a feature and then take it away when there's nothing else to do, right? Yeah. So it just seems like an absolutely insane decision to do this. And I think it gets worse personally because of the way they're handling loot. Loot in this is essentially going to be 5 items level higher in the Cataclysms than it is in the normal game, right? Yeah. What this creates is a situation where everyone wants to play during the Cataclysm because that's the only time you can get the best loot that will now appear in the game. And otherwise, you're going to be like, why the fuck am I playing? I'm only going to be able to earn shitter loot than I could earn before. So I think that decision to offer an incentivized loot pool during that period is a bad decision.
And I think that, when you are creating a game like a looter shooter that, you might play for 8 weeks and not have as much luck as the guy next to you. Now the guy next to you that you play with has had, all these great items and, that window's closed now and it's like, well, that kind of sucks that I'm not able to go back and try and continue to get that loot. To have that finite period, it can make people feel really robbed of the time that they've put into this game over the next 8 weeks because they're like, well, thanks for that.
And the
these
template
drop
for this
rates sucked.
Yeah, the template for this is the Division's global events, which funneled people into this specific activities for a period to earn the best items in the game, and then when they weren't available, people just didn't bother playing because they're like, why would I bother?
And I understand that. I totally get that.
It makes sense. And the other thing as well is the way the loot is being delivered. It's being delivered by loot boxes. You can't buy these loot boxes with real money. It's only in-game currency. You earn currency from the Cataclysms. You can buy loot boxes with them. I just think that's an unsatisfying sort of mechanic. Destiny 2 did this with their first raid, where the bosses dropped almost no loot whatsoever, and then you needed to go to the tower and cash in these tokens to actually get something. I got more loot from the token vendor than I did from the bosses, and I think that's inherently bad design.
Two things, Overwatch does the same thing. They'll have certain times where you can get certain types of loot boxes, and then once it's over, it's annoying, it's like fucking hell, But secondly, I think, why would they make such a structure like that? Why wouldn't you make the bosses do that? Why are you making people go to the loot box? It just feels for me like...
Yeah. It's EA, man. So
well, of course. But if you're saying it's all in-game currency, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I know.
You're putting an extra hurdle there and robbing the actual player of the cool experience of taking down that boss and immediately seeing reaping those rewards.
I
just don't. I don't get that.
The last thing is that they've also announced they're going to be nerfing some items in the game. It's not clear what those items are, but they do know. Obviously, in any game, there's powerful items, and they've said that they're going to do a complete rebalance across the board. That means that some items will be nerfed, others will be buffed. Look, I don't think a game like this needs nerfs in its life cycle right now. They've got way bigger problems than hey guys, some weapons are too strong. Introduce new items that are powerful. Buff other items, cool, but don't make the game less fun for some people who have spent a lot of time refining. And don't forget, this game is such a fucking grind, right? To be able to get the right weapon, the right build that you want and make it work takes a lot of investment with very little return, and some people's builds are going to get objectively shitter as a result of this patch, and that sucks.
I hear you. I do think that if they do in fact have a skeleton staff now,
which I'm sure
they can fix 1 or 2 weapons, or they can fix dozens of weapons to bring it up and make it all feel more powerful. I just think they don't have time and they don't have the manpower for it, so I do get what they're doing there. Look, if this was a thriving game, they had a really big staff under them, I'd be like, dude, why are you doing that when, it can maybe be done the other way, but I just don't think they have a choice. It has to be the quickest, most cost-effective way to make it, all balanced.
Either way, this is not... And look, just being straight up, this is not going to save Anthem. I think a lot of people were hopeful that this was going to be the thing that's yes, finally we've got the Anthem we deserve, man. Thanks, but no, it's not that. It's just a nice little bit of extra content for people who are already sort of into this game, It doesn't fix the underlying issues with the loot game. It doesn't fix the underlying issues with customization and vanity. It doesn't fix the game, really. And so while it's cool and good work BioWare for delivering this content,
only one plate or whatever, in terms of the actual discussion of
whatever,
it.
that's
whatever,
fine.
it happens.
But it just doesn't seem like it's going to be enough to salvage Anthem.
No,
So
I think it's done, people. I'm looking forward to
Put a
Dragon
fork in
Age.
it.
Dragon Age is going to be hopefully I reckon it's their last hope. Like, after if Dragon Age
There's
bombs...
a new Mass Effect as well.
Oh, is there?
Well,
Okay.
they've said that they're starting to warm up the Mass
I
Effect.
can't wait to see the
franchise.
faces of Mass Effect.
Yeah, cool.
I'm the best shaman on background.